everyone, and welcome back to my channel. In this video I'm going to be talking to you about intermittent fasting. There's been a lot of controversial debate regarding it, so what I did is I dug in and I did some research regarding it. I tried it myself for a week, so I'm going to be sharing my experience, everything that I've learned, and also my results for the week, so stay tuned. So before we start, just a quick disclaimer. I'm not a medical practitioner, a dietitian, or a nutritionist. I'm just going to be sharing my experience and what I read up about it. So before you attempt intermittent fasting, please consult with your doctor and do not attempt this diet if you are pregnant, breastfeeding, or a diabetic. So for those of you that don't know how intermittent fasting works, it basically comes down to you are allowed to eat for a certain amount of hours in your day, and the rest of the 24 hours is when you would fast. I have been following the 16-8 hours. So basically, I eat in a period of 8 hours and I fast for the balance 16. It might sound rough to fast for 18 hours, but 8 of those 18 hours I actually sleep some nights. So what my day would look like is I would either have my supper before 6 or before 7 at night, and that's where I would stop eating. So basically you fast from then. Most of the night you're sleeping, and then the next morning when you wake up, you're not allowed to eat breakfast. You can only start eating around about 10 or 11, depending on when you stopped eating the previous night before. So if I stopped at 6 o'clock the evening, I'm only allowed to start eating at 10 again. If I stopped eating at 7, I only start eating at 11 again. That would make your full 16 hours fasting. During your fasting period, you are only allowed to consume non-calorated items, black coffee, tea, or water, no sugar or milk. Just a few of the methods of fasting you can do is, the first one is a 16-8 hours, which I've been following, where you fast for 16 hours and you eat in a period of 8 hours. Next one you get is a 14-10, which is fast for 14 hours, eat for 10 hours. And then you also get a 5-2, which means you'll be eating regularly for 5 days and fasting for 2 days. So why does intermittent fasting work? First of all, you basically limit your calorie intake and you lower your calorie intake for the entire day. What happens in your body when you fast is basically all the calories that you consumed, your body is using up for either your organs to function, your heart to beat, even sleeping, you use calories. The moment all the calories that you consumed for the day is finished, your body starts tapping into your stored energy, which is your fat, and your body goes into a fat burning stage. I think it's important to not stretch your fasting too long. Reason for this is your body goes into starvation mode, and the moment you eat again, it starts putting food away, because now your body is going, she's not feeding me. So the moment he gets food again, he stores it because he's scared he's not going to get food again. So I think it's really important to not stretch your fasting longer than 8 hours. So what I did read up a lot is people are unsure what they are allowed to consume when they're not fasting. So basically, I think the most important part is when you're in that period is to not overindulge and eat junk food and eat too much. Only eat when you're hungry. So what I typically did the past week is, when I was breaking my fast, I would have around about 50 grams of granola with 3 tablespoons of yogurt and my cup of coffee, like I would normally do, with a little bit of low-fat milk and either one sugar or my sweetener. Around about 1 or 2 o'clock, I would get hungry again. Then I would typically have a sandwich with whatever you feel like on, either cheese, cream cheese. I even had peanut butter sandwich the one day, but just obviously 2 slices. Don't eat too much, and try and make it a healthy bread like brown bread or seed bread, anything like that. Then typically around about 4 o'clock when I got home, I would start feeling hungry again. Then either have an apple or a banana, so you still get your fruit intake as well for the day. And then I would normally last till supper. Typical suppers I had this week was we had chicken, rice, potatoes with vegetables. Yet again, I measured out the amount of starch that I put. Nothing more than between 100 and 150 grams of starch in your plate. The rest you can fill with protein, meat, and obviously your vegetables. If I can give you one bit of advice, is to keep this baby close while you're intermittent fasting. I would literally, from the morning when I wake up, I would be hungry. I would start drinking my water. Some days, most days, I would say, before I break fast, I would finish 2 of these to keep me full and keep me going. So I don't have that hungry pang all of the time. I'm not going to lie to you, you're going to get hungry for the first few days. So just fill up with your water and drink the tea and coffee. I'm not the type of person that can drink black coffee with no sugar or tea, so I just stuck to my water, and that's also fine. So this week, while I was doing the intermittent fasting, I decided not to exercise at all. My reasons for this is because last week I did the rope jumping challenge, and it absolutely exhausted me for the week. So I just thought I would have a bit of a rest this week, recuperate, and also I wanted to see what this eating plan or this fasting was going to do to my body without it being affected by exercise. And I also I wasn't sure what the fasting was going to do to my energy levels. So I was scared I was going to be too tired or exhausted. But surprisingly, to be honest with you, I actually feel very well. I feel energized and more awake, more aware. So overall for me, it was a good experience this week. I didn't have as much of a hard time as I thought I was going to have. Yes, obviously, like I said, I did get hungry in the mornings, but once I broke my fast and I ate my small meals, I was fine. It basically didn't even bother me. So I think it's totally doable. I did get results. What I'm quite happy with my results. I'll share with you guys just now. While I was doing my research, I read up about a lot of benefits that intermittent fasting has for your body, and it's scientifically proven. There were case studies at Harvard and Johns Hopkins Medicine. So I'll be listing a few, just a few. There's plenty. Go read up about it. It boggled my mind actually how good it is for you to fast. So I'll list a few for you. So there is a neuroscientist at Johns Hopkins Medicine, Mark Matson. He wrote a piece that actually stood out to me so much, and it made sense. He wrote, in the olden days, I'm talking about yonks ago, people had to go and search for food or do hunting before they could actually eat. So they were going prolonged times without actually eating. So what if our bodies were meant to eat like that and not eat constantly? And something that made me think he could be onto something is people in the olden days lived much longer than we are living now. Could food not be contributing to not living longer. And they were eating plant-based food without all these fats and things we're eating. They lived off on animal fat and protein and vegetables. So just something to think about. Okay, so it feels like I've been talking way too much. So basically my results for the week is I lost 1.2 kgs just by fasting, intermittent fasting, and not exercising. So I'm going to try it for another week and see how it goes. Like I said, my experience with it was not as bad as I expected. I think it's quite doable. I've seen before and afters of people that's been doing this for years, and the amount of weight they lost is ridiculous. And I think the most important for me is to try and do it the healthy way. Like I said, a lot of people don't believe in fasting because they don't think it's healthy for you. But I did the research, and like I said, I was so surprised to actually see what it's all about and that it is beneficial to your body. So I'm going to be trying it for another week combined with exercise, and let's see what happens. So I don't have before and after photos for you guys this week. I will try and do a monthly update and do then photos and then weigh-ins and all of that. So like I said, please consult with your doctor before trying this, and don't do it when you're pregnant, breastfeeding, or diabetic. But I think it's definitely something to consider. It's not as bad as I thought. It's quite doable, and it works. I promise you, I lost 1.2 kgs. When I'm ready, I will start sharing my weight with you guys, but I'm not quite there yet. So take my word for it. It worked this week. I lost weight. I can feel my clothes is even a little bit less tight than it was the week before. So it's obviously a long journey for me with this weight loss, and I really want you guys to join me. I'm going to share as much tips and as much knowledge as I can with you guys, and please consider subscribing to my channel. And if you like the video, please click like. Feel free to leave a comment and I will get back to you. I hope you guys have a good week, and I will chat to you again next week. Bye.